Okay, so first of all, let me take one file svg.html. Okay, type html svg. So generally, if you want to render any graphic on your web page, we need some uh, third-party tools like third-party code we required. Something like if you want to play any kind of animation, either you need a Flash animator, okay, or Flash player, or you need to what do you call render applets through Java programming language. So we have seen applets in Java. So by using that, we can play some kind of animation or some kind of drawings as well. Okay, so that is the animation. Coming to that animation, we need to use a Flash, or either we need to use what do you call Java applets or any other kind of third-party tools we need to use. Coming to the graphics, it is not possible to render graphics on your web page directly. Only image graphic can be rendered. Okay, so HTML5 has provided a way to render graphics called SVG graphics. SVG means scaled vector graphics. Scaled vector graphics. So scaled vector graphics in the sense, it's completely vector based family of graphics we can use. So generally we have a raster based graphics are there. For example, I'll just show that in a better view. Raster versus SVG graphics. So yeah, you can find this is good. Let me go for a wiki. I don't have any SVG images in my PC. Just I want to go for now. Just go to the scaled vector graphics in wiki. You'll find something like this. Now you can see this is a raster graphics. Okay, where you can find the JPG format, .gif format, and PNG format. All these things. Okay. So in this, what happens is the details of this picture was encoded with the bits ones and zeros like this. So when we zoomed in, okay, at some point you can find some rectangle shapes on every picture like this. Okay, this is what is called raster graphics. Whereas in case of vector graphics, it's completely based on mathematics called vectors. Okay, here you hear about the vector, what is a vector, all those things. So you can find, you don't find such kind of square shade symbols on your image when we zoomed in, when you go for scaled vector graphics. So SVG graphics are more clear, and it is what I can call, I can say it's a cluster clear graphics, I can say. Okay. Now let's go for any other kind of. Now this is a painting drawn, I think drawn by some painter. This is when we try to record this painting in our in the format like a JPG or a PNG format. It will look like this raster image, okay, which is made up of pixels. Each pixels is designed as a square, right, on our computer screen. Okay, and if you go for the vector graphics, see, which is more clean and more, it is very neat when you compare this one, right? So this is a advantage that you can find when you go for SVG graphics. Such a high quality graphics was provided in your HTML5. Okay, so we are going to learn how to render vector graphics. I'll just show you how to render vector graphics. Okay, why? Because it's a big what do you call? thing we need to go inside of it. Okay, so just I'll show how to render some vector graphics or the circle shapes, how to draw some kind of different shapes like that. Okay, so just use a tag called SVG. My Sublime is not detecting that. Why? Because it's a new one, SVG graphic. So this graphic, if you want to construct an area, okay, on your web page, you can use a width and height property for this. Width equal to, I want to take 800 by, sorry, 800 by 600, 600 pixels. Okay, so if you want any border, you can add a border. Okay, let me check this out in the browser. Now, unfortunately, my border is not able to uh, going for this. I can go for some CSS style. Don't worry about this style. I'll explain these things later when we get into the CSS. Okay, style attribute I'm going to write. Style border 1 pixel solid hash 000. You do find a border. Now this is an area where I can draw my SVG graphics. Okay, so let us first draw, let me draw an element on your screen on the web page. So by using that, if you want to draw any line, you can use line. Okay, line is a one important thing I want to mention here is SVG graphic tag is a dependent tag. That means it has both closing and opening tags will be there. Okay, whereas the child elements inside that we are going to render or we are going to place inside this SVG graphics like circle, line, rectangle. If you want to place such kind of elements inside this, you need to go for like you need to go for this kind of syntax. Only a single, what I can say, it is an independent tag, line or circle. What are the childs that you are going to use? That is an independent one. Okay, so just go for the SVG graphics. In this, if you want to draw a line, what you have to do? Actually, in mathematics, we do. It has some x1, y1, x2, y2. Just place those things. So I have x1 value as 0 pixels, or let me take this to be 10 pixels, and y1 value will be 10 pixels. Okay, x2 will be I can go for a 300 pixels, and y2 I want to maintain this to be 10 pixels. Okay, and let me see whether it's rendering or not. I'm not able to see the line. If you want to see the line, you need to apply stroke. Okay, you have to apply a stroke, or you can use it's not possible to directly place the stroke. You can use something like style, um, strok stroke. I can use some color. Let me take the red. Let me check this out. Yeah, I'm able to. This is the minimum width that you can find. I'm able to draw a simple line on this particular graphic. Got it? So this is a line. If you want to draw in a diagonal fashion, you need to make this to be 300, so that, see, if you want to increase the width, you have something called stroke width. Okay, stroke width of let me give 10 pixels. Oops, something gone wrong. I think in CSS we need to separate each and every property with semicolon. See, you got it? Big line with big width. Okay, so that is a line. Let me draw a circle. Okay, I want to draw a circle on this. uh, just use circle. There is no auto completion for this. What actually the circle has? It will have a radius, right? And we need to provide what we call the position of the circle. Okay, so I can say cx that is the position of where we want to place. Okay, I want to place my x circle, some circle at 100 pixels from x direction and 100 pixels from y direction, and I want to place a radius of what I can go for 50 pixels, radius of 50 pixels. Okay, so I just gone for this radius of 50 pixels. That is fine. Again, you need to provide the stroke width and stroke, all these things. So I just go for something called, you can use this one. By the way, I don't want the stroke width here. If you want, you can place any other kind of number. Unfortunately, I'm not able to see the circle. I did everything, I did everything properly, but I'm not getting a circle. The reason is SVG graphics was created based on XML tags. So this is not the XML tag. Why? Because XML tag definitely requires some closing behavior. So all the independent childs of this, all the independent elements or independent tags that we are going to use inside the SVG should enclose or should terminate with forward slash and angular bracket. Are you getting? This is very important. Otherwise, you're not able to see the second graphic. Only first graphic will be on the screen. Now you can see, I can see my circle on the line. And let me change the color for this. I want to make this to be color. So you can use a property called fill. You can use a CSS. And by the way, I think it will work with directly. I'm not remember for this. Let me try like this. Stroke width of fill. What fill? It is to be equal. These are the HTML properties. I'm not using any CSS here. So what color you want? Red color. That is fine. Now let us refresh this. See, I'm able to place a circle as well as the line. Right. So I just placed a circle as well as a line on this particular HTML page. So this is the way you can place different kinds of elements or graphic elements, SVG graphic elements on the web page. Okay. Likewise, and you do always remember that every child inside SVG tag should terminate with this kind of syntax. This is a XML syntax, right? Otherwise, you're not able to see the next graphic. Now, let us suppose if I remove this one, you're not able to see the circle. Why? Because the line is not a terminated. If you want to make it as a terminate behavior, you have to use forward slash and greater than symbol. Okay. Likewise, you can place a rectangle as well. Let me show all these things. Rectangle. A rectangle itself comes with some width and height, right? So you can add a width, height, and what you can expect. The position of the rectangle, just like the CX and CY. Mm, what other things that we have for the rectangle? Okay, for the time being, I can use. You just use width. I want a width of 300 pixels. Let's try. Height, GHT height is equal to 150 pixels. Let us take 150 pixels. Okay, and if you want to add any position, you can use x equal to at what position you want. I don't want to mess up this one, so I can take 400. think it will work. It's 400, 300. Let's try this one. And by the way, you need to add these stroke width and stroke. Let me make this common thing here. Yes, I'm able to see my rectangle on the screen. Okay, you can use any kind of color and for stroke width, all these things. And these are the general and regular graphics that I'm going to show. By using this, you can construct big graphics. Okay, so I'll show that one later on. So before that, um, what we can expect? I want to reduce this size. So okay, that's fine. Now the next one is you can create an ellipse, polygon. Okay, by using that, I want to X and Y, something like that. That is fine. Now let me create an ellipse. If you want to create an ellipse, use ellipse. Every tag should be terminated with this one. Ellipse has a cx value of already 300 ఇచ్చాం కాబట్టి width position. Okay, దీనికి ఇచ్చేద్దాం 100 ఇచ్చాం 100 200. cy is equal to this is to be 100. The radius. So ellipse comes with okay, I need to change this. Oh, this is radius, right? I'm sorry, this is 300. This is also not good. Let's take this one. Let's make this too. Right. See, I can place an ellipse like this. Let me move apart. 200, 200. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. And let me add one more ellipse here. I'm going to add one more thing. 2 ellipses. It's to be um, oh, let's try like this. Yes. I need to move in different panel. Let me adjust this. 280, 360. It's fine. 250, 340. Then I want to adjust this one as well. Okay, 180. Let's take this one. 230, 280. See, something you can create wonderful graphics on your web page by mixing up all these things. Okay, if you want to place red, something like this. Okay, you can create like this, and let me make this to be white. Okay, somewhat you can create wonderful graphics by using this. Okay, and this is an ellipse. And if you want to construct a polygon, so by if you want to create a polygon, you need to define the points. Okay, points in the sense a polygon contains many points, right? So you need to place x1, y1, x2, y2. So all those things can be placed by using a simple attribute called points. So I can place something like the first point will be 10 comma or 400 comma 400. Okay, this is the first point. You just place like this and place some space so that it will isolate the second point. Okay, next one, I can place this to be 50 comma 50 comma 30, 600 comma 500, something like that. I will put the page. You drawn a polygon, and I need to place this. Let me place this one. Fill stroke fill equal to green. So this is one polygon I drawn. This is one point. This is another point. This is another point. Likewise, you can create a star or different kind of things like this. So define the points like this. Assume the points. Okay, these points and these points, all internal and external points, and try to create a simple polygon by using this SVG graphics. You can do that by using this. Okay, so such a wonderful things that you can create. So where do I use such type of graphics in our web pages, generally speaking? Okay, so I'll show a simple example here. If you go for BBC News, okay, BBC News, just go for the website. Most of the logos was designed through SVG graphics only. Okay, those who are using HTML5, they always go for the SVG graphics to design their logos. Unfortunately, I'm not getting this. BBC News. I don't know my. Okay, BBC no.com. BBC.com. Okay, that is fine. Let me check this out whether this is SVG graphics or not. Now right click on it and inspect it. Inspect it. Where is that? Now you can see that is an SVG graphic. See, SVG graphic. They use a G shape. Okay, and you can create a path, and they have added an image as well. Okay, so you can use such type of thing. This is a path you need to create actually. Uh, there will be what we can call SVG creators will be there, tools will be there. By using that, if you give some kind of text or something like that, it will create a path. It's a path in the sense it will flow continuously. Okay, so this is a flow, NEWS, some text flow that you can place. It's very difficult to place like this. You have to use tools in order to get such kind of things, and you do have some image as well here. And let me show my kind of logo in this. So I designed one logo for this using SVG graphics. This was very neat. E-commerce. Not mobile card. SVG. It's not. Let me. See, I just opened a website. Okay, this is my project, one of my project, and try to create it. Let's create on this. Code. Now you can see this is one kind of web page, and you know this logo was designed through SVG only. Okay. Now if you want to observe this, right click on it, inspect it. So I created this logo using SVG. So no need to bother about the clarity of the image, and no need to go for the Photoshop, all those things. You can directly make use of. If you have the mockups, Okay, something mockups in the sense they will give some kind of design like this. This is what is called mockup. They will give some kind of design like this. Okay, if you have the mockup, and if you want the logo now, right? See, when I zoomed it, this is the raster way of graphics. See, how do I place this kind of logo in my website? This is not good. So I'm not good at Photoshop. So how do I go for such logo in my web page suddenly? Then I can go for SVG graphics so that it will create a lot. It will help you a lot. Now you can see I just created a rectangle here, another rectangle, this one. Okay, two rectangles. Okay. After that, I place some text. Okay. So I fill with some kind of what do you call color, font size, font family. All this. This is a text. What do you call that? Text child that you can place inside your. Now let me show that one as well. If you want to place any text here, you can use text. And by the way, this kind of if only I place only single way of represent. Sorry, independent tag, right? A closing behavior. But when it rendered inside the web page, you can find both opening as well as closing tags. That will take care by the what you call the browser. Don't confuse with these things. You can use either this one or this kind of syntax. This is best. Why? Because it has less number of characters when compared to the previous one. This one. Okay. So what I did, if you want to place any kind of text here, so let us suppose position the text around 300 pixels. Y is equal to again 400 pixels. Okay, and text should comes with what do you call multi-line. Sorry, independent tag. Why? Because again this will be the parent. Inside this you will place some kind of text, right? Hello world. So you are going to place some kind of child element inside the text. That is why it should be opening and closing tag. Okay, and you can create a font family if you want to use okay, font size 24 pixels or 50 pixels. What kind of things we have gone for? Okay, that is fine. If you want to any color, you can place that one. Fill maroon, something like that. Let me check whether it's rendering or not. Oh, I think my text is not there. Let me check. Okay, I need to close the polygon, otherwise it won't show. See, I'm able to see some text on the graphic on my graphic area. Got it? You can do a lot of things by using this. So you need to make use of things like you need to make it a habit to create logos by using this kind of SVG graphics or any kind of funny animations. All those things you can create. Not only this kind of thing, you can create a button by using SVG graphic, your own style. Okay, without using what you can call CSS, and you can create your own elements. See, if it is a mobile application, or you want to play some kind of e-commerce application, so add cart, okay, checkout, all these kind of things you want to place on your web page. So you can design such components by using this SVG graphics. Okay, every component that you can create like this. And not only buttons, I'm saying, not only this kind of logo. If you want to create any reusable component, for example, a shopping cart, a simple shopping cart. If you go for the Flipkart, you will find a rectangle box, right? uh, Flipkart, if you go for this, Flipkart is a e-commerce website, right? So where we can purchase and sell some kind of things. Now when I go for some Samsung mobiles. Now see, this is one component I can place. This is one component. I want to show an image, some kind of text all these things. I want to create such thing. Okay, so this can be designed by using your. You just create a single component by using SVG graphics, and by using JavaScript, call that component repeatedly by placing different kind of text, all those things. Okay, so you can make a reusable component like this using SVG graphics. Okay, and there is other kind of graphics are also there, something called canvas. Okay, canvas is also, but canvas needs some JavaScript. Okay, if you want to draw something on it, okay, it needs some JavaScript. Okay, so canvas is some kind of area where we can draw any kind of or we can play some animation as well. Okay, not only drawings, we can play some animation, but it requires some JavaScript. SVG doesn't require JavaScript. If you add, that is good. Okay, if you want to make live and kicking animations, then you can go for SVG plus JavaScript. The difference between SVG and canvas is, if you draw any kind of animation inside or any kind of graphics inside canvas, okay, once it render on your web page, it may not be controllable in the sense you're not able to control the animation. Okay, why? Because you are completely, see, you are completely what I'm saying is, let me add something. You simply placing your graphics like this as a paragraph, as a group of content. Okay, if you want to control this simple thing, this particular thing, again, generally we need a HTML tag. If you render your child element of the HTML page inside a HTML element, then it will be controllable. Okay, so see, I want to control individual words in this paragraph. How do I do that? It is not possible, right? So so definitely all these words should require such kind of markup before and after in order to control this. See, already I explained this kind of scenario. See, I have username. Okay, I just created an input field. So this username is just a text. If I want to change the color of this username, this text, how do I do that? Either through JavaScript, or it is very difficult. Of course, if it is possible, then it will be very difficult to do that. So what I'm saying is, just place a label tag, and enclose that one. Sorry, try to enclose this username text with a label tag. So from now onwards, you can call this username by using this label tag, right? By using get element by ID in JavaScript, or some kind of procedure in CSS, or any other kind of language. So this is controllable. So similarly, in Canvas, we draw graphics as a group like this. Okay, it is not possible to control individual elements in the canvas once we drawn on your screen. Okay, once the animation or the graphic was drawn on the HTML page, it is not controllable, or we're not going to make any changes on through dynamic fashion, or while application is running. Okay, whereas coming to the SVG, each and every element is enclosed by its own predefined tag, right? So that means you can control individual element on in individual component or individual element inside your SVG graphics. So that is why SVG graphic tag is very popular nowadays. Of course, some people go for canvas as well, but I always prefer this one. Why? Because you can individually control, so that you can see for the logo design. Okay, for the component design, all those things I use SVG graphics. Okay, that is the best habit you can see. See, let me. You can see this UI. D is, again, if you want to make D to be controllable, I want to change the color of the D. Okay. So what I did, I have taken a T span inside the text element, and I placed the fill tag, sorry, fill attribute with black, and I placed T. So this is UI is in light blue, and this is thick. I mean, this is black. Okay. After that, the remaining rectangle is background is blue and white color foreground. So this is the way you can make use of the SVG graphics. Okay. So in order to create any kind of reusable component on your web page, logos, buttons, you can go for the SVG graphics. Okay, but it is very difficult to handle. Once you created the graphic, it is very easy to render and you can easily control. Okay, the only problem with these graphic tags is creation. Okay, creating the items. It's time taken. Okay, Canvas. This is it requires some kind of JavaScript in order to play that. Okay, so I'm not going to show you right now. That is about the SVG graphics. Okay, next one. What we left with is miscellaneous. Like let's take this one. So you have some kind of tags which are used. Of course, HTML comes with a lot of tags. Okay, out of these are the very important tags what we need to discuss it. Okay, so let me take some kind of HTML miscellaneous tags, something called Q tag. Q tag is used to quote the text. Okay, if you have any kind of quotation, what I can something like you can steal my idea but not my brain. Okay, something like this. This is mine. I just placed this one. Okay, this is a simple quotation I place. Okay, let me take this out. See, I didn't place the quotes for the text. Automatically, because of the Q tag, you can render such kind of quotations. If you have big, what do you call quotations? We call them as a block quote. Okay, block quote. And you place any kind of text inside that and it will has different kind. Now you can see a space is given for the paragraph, such kind of difference that you can find. Okay, this is a simple quote. This is available in previous HTML versions. This is only available in HTML5 version, block quote. Okay, so every block quote require some citation means where do you copy this quotation. So we use something called cite attribute. Okay, so I copied from something like www.google.com, something like that. Okay, you have to place that one. Of course, it won't reflect anything on the screen, but it is for the accessibility purpose, understand purpose. So we just copied this one. So you just go for something called Tim Berners-Lee wiki, any kind of things. Oops. Am I getting this? So just go for the Wikipedia. So citation is, I think you know about what are the citation tags. Just describing about the authors and the links to where do you copy the things. Now you can see. Let me check this out. Okay, all this is called citations. You can find. Now, unfortunately, I don't have. Now you can see there is a cite tag is there. You can use cite as an attribute as well as a tag like this. Okay, so it's representing that. Of course, you are going to make this particular element as a controllable by using this individual tag, cite tag. Okay, what you are going to say, this kind of text, whatever the thing here, it's I don't have the here I don't have the name of the document, but I just given, this is the name, right? Sir Tim Berners-Lee joins Oxford Department of Computer Science and Christchurch, something like that. This is a document, and the document you can find the link like this. All this information is cited. Okay, these are called citations. Okay, when we go for any masters, I think you heard about these kind of citations. Okay, masters or PhDs, then you can find such kind of citations. Okay, That is about the citation tag you can make use of. And next, if you want to place any code on your on the HTML page, it is not possible to place the code like this. See, what I can do. See, it is not possible to place a HTML code, but we need to use some kind of uh, less than HTML ampersand GT. So now this is a HTML tag actually. Now let me check this out. When I refresh, now you can see HTML code. And you can see the font style is different when you place this inside the code tag. If you want to place any kind of code, okay. And by the way, ampersand LT is not good. I want to place this one. What happens? This will browser will take it as a normal HTML tag, so it won't render on the page. Why? Because it assumes that HTML is starting again. Okay, so that is why you need to use some HTML entities like this. I'll talk about the HTML entities later on. These are called HTML entities. Okay, then only you can place some kind of symbols on the page. Let me take some JavaScript code. So the call and apply closure. Fine, this is okay for me. I want to place this code instead of this. This is my JavaScript code. I want to render this. See, how does it render? A simple line, right? I don't want it. It has taken this kind of code as a simple string, but I want to display the code as it is what I placed in the HTML page. So for this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to place a pre-tag. Pre-tag is used to adjust the code based on indentation, the spaces what we have. Okay, see, such kind of things. So what is the use of knowing all this stuff? You hear about Quora and Stack Overflow, some kind of web pages, right? There you'll find a lot of code, right, from different authors. So how do I render a code in my web page? Use the pre-tag, just like what the stack for. If you are going to design such kind of web pages, see, let me check. Now you have the code, right? So of course, if you want such kind of background, you need to go for CSS, all those things. But anyway, so if you want to make a neat JavaScript code, you need to use a pre-tag that will render neatly on your web page. It's very slow. Unfortunately, it's a text. Oops, I don't want this. I don't want this. I want this. Now you can see there is a pre-tag. Inside that code is there. Got it? So pre-tag is going to consider the indentations, this kind of the gaps, tab indentations. Okay, that is a pre-tag. Likewise, if you want to abbreviate any kind of text, we have something called abbreviation. ABBR abbreviation is there. Okay, HTML. I can use a title tag for this. Hyper text markup. Markup language. Now see, this is the abbreviation. When I place this one, you will find hypertext markup language. These are some kind of regular text tags that we use in our applications, like Q tag, block code tag, pre tag, code tag, abbreviation tag, something like that. Okay, so that is about the miscellaneous. Tomorrow I complete the HTML by explaining the iframes and HTML entities as well. Okay, day after tomorrow I'll start. See.